Okay, so let's move on to the next section, simplicity. I'm going to quote you here. So you say that simplicity is liberating your heart from the confines of your mind. And I think that's so crucial to point out because it's reinforcing that the 80-20 rule, as you mentioned before. And I think that's sort of what this section is about, is finding, not your perfect, but going through what energizes you and motivates you and gets you curious about who you really are. So how about you explain a little bit further about this simplicity section?
Thanks, Gabby, and what you said is perfect. I don't know that I could have said it better myself. And that is exactly it. We have a lot of messages that are floating around in our mind, some from ourselves, some from the outside world. And the whole intent behind the questions, which are focused on what are you curious about, what interests you, what energises you, is to tune those things out and tap into your own inner compass, your own inner energy. So there are some of the core questions. There's also an exercise which again invites the user to ask similar questions they've asked of themselves, of others that know them well, and compare the differences between what those people tell them and what they say for themselves, again because the outside world is your mirror, and that will then help them by the end of the section focus on up to 3 things that they want to start working on that give them a positive sense of energy and hence momentum to keep on going.
Wonderful. Let's move on to the success section of your journal. You start off by asking people to create their own success statement. Now, how does that differ from person to person? I know you've mentioned about women being as ambitious as men. How does that success statement define the rest of the journey of this journal?
Thanks, Gabby. 2 important things you've hit on there. There is some advice at the beginning of the section to women, and it's one of only 3 places in the journal where I give advice. And it's a reminder that research shows that it's a fact that women are as ambitious as men. And this is placed at the front of this section because it's important as a reminder for that particular fact, but more generally to the women doing the journal, that there are a lot of self-limiting thoughts that they may have taken in that are based on fact, and to clear their mind of those before they proceed. The success description is really bringing together everything that all the work that's been done before. This is, I describe it as destination success. How will you know within yourself when you get there? And this covers quite a few pages because the questions are quite deep, asking the person to describe how they will be, what they will be doing, how they will feel, and what they will have as a result of that success. And again, similar to the exercise on values, it really deeply anchors that within the person's conscious and subconscious, and helps them make some better decisions about what actions they're going to take when they get to the goal planning, the action section. The second important point about success is that the goal and planning section is different fundamentally from most coaching and goal planning. And that's because they're walking towards a destination that's within them, and they're learning how to live that out in the outside world. So I don't have you're going to end up at this target and you must take these predictable steps. The key question the person asks themselves is, if I want to work on my focus area that I've picked in simplicity, what is the right next step for me to take? And then the process guides them through taking that step. And it's through the process of taking the steps, reflecting and learning, that you're then in a position to take the next step and then the next step. So that can continue as long as the person who's doing the journal feels that it's of benefit. to them. And if they run out of pages there, they can write in the blank pages in the reflection section at the end.
Yeah, I really like how the journal brings you back to constantly reflecting on what that success means to you. And yeah, as you said, there's lots of pages at the end to really do that and take that journey as far as you need it to go. And I think that's a very important part of the journal. Are there any sort of key takeaways that you want to sort of emphasize for your readers or potential readers?
Well, the thing I would really want to reinforce to any woman who buys one and chooses to use it is that whatever they do with it is right. It's their decisions, it's their life, and if that choice is to continue, if that choice is that they pause at a point in time because there's too much else going on, then I absolutely want to reinforce to them that if that's right for them, they're doing the right thing, because they don't have to and they shouldn't do anything other than being themselves.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Jacqui.
Thank you.